You also worked with RZA again, Digital Bullet, Raekwon, Lex Diamond Stories. How was it getting a call from the Blastmaster KS1 for Chris Styles?
Oh, okay. That again, humbled and blown away. Like that's an idol of mine, an idol. So
Sidebar. Who you got tonight, Kane or KRS?
Oh, don't do it to me. uh, oof.
Okay, we can come back to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm scared to answer that. I would have to say KRS, but I also have kicked it very hard to some Kane, and I'm sorry, lyricists. I mean, that's a pretty good matchup. We'll see. Right. We'll see.
Take us back to that phone call. Blastmaster reaching out.
Well, yeah, I had gotten a call that he was interested in doing a song. Actually, RZA called me and asked what did I want to do it, and when I showed up to the studio and he had the song queued up and was like, okay, this is kind of what the song is about, yada yada. I kind of have these out of body. It still sounds so silly, but I just can't believe that I'm there. Like, I'm always just like, holy shit, okay. And then I just try to stay focused on doing the thing that I was asked to do. So just go in there, record the song, and then come out, and you like it, you don't like it, I'll fix it, like whatever. Humbling is the only way that I can describe, featuring on a record asked specifically by KRS to do. It's just, you don't expect these things to happen.
Right.
Or I don't.
Right.
After
your great run through the mid-90s, early 2000s, where did Tekitha find herself?
I found myself trying to reassess and figure out how to fit my role as a parent and a co-parent into my existence as a creative and as an artist, and what that looked like, and then how to kind of rework my plan and how I wanted to release music. And like I was basically rebuilding, to a certain degree, and finding out that I was smart enough to know I could figure it out if I did that, though. You know what I mean? Like, I had to sit down and really prioritize the work and my family and the balance that I wanted to create within those things. That's kind of where I found myself in the early 2000s. And then I met my now ex-husband in 06-ish. And then we were together for the better part of a decade. And so I was still kind of working, and then that became another role that I added on, which I didn't realize how much work that was going to take, and not work as in burdensome, but just another a stretch, of bandwidth that I was going to need to properly support him, and by support I mean his emotional being, his spiritual and physical well-being. I felt charged and responsible for. So in kind of the same way that I feel charged and responsible for my daughter, myself, my family members, but with a husband and wife, if you any kind of motherfucker at all, you better be about they life, you know what I'm saying, and caring for them and honoring them and loving them and so on. So that's where I found myself in the early 2000s, and then on for a decade, really charting that territory, which I think I did pretty well, successfully, I might humbly say, until the divorce, which divorce does not mean not success. It just means I had to come to an end. So.
Right. And this time, are you pursuing music, or focusing more on family life?
Focusing more on family, doing music every so often, only when I really wanted to. I did a project in 2010 called The Prelude. And that was an EP that I did with one of my best friends, a producer named Jeff Jonesilla Jones. And that was me kind of like stirring it up a little bit, like, okay, let me see like where I'm at creatively. Actually, I shot a video for the single on that song, and we ended up losing the freaking footage to the video. It's the craziest fucking story, dude. So it's the craziest thing. Like, how do these things happen? But anyway, I rhymed on that project as well, but that's on iTunes. It's called, like I said, it's called The Prelude. I dropped that in 2010. Did a couple of other little just for myself, creative ventures that I didn't release, that still have some life in them. A graphic novel kind of situation that has music attached to it. A story called Tekitha is Ma'at Sophia, and it's basically in animated. It's a cartoon essentially.
Right.
Did that. What else was I doing? That would have been 2010, 2011, 12, 13. Round about 15, 16 is when I started to shape up this project with a producer in Morocco and Paris. His name is Ahmed Sultan. That album is called Week of the Phoenix. I wrapped that album in 2018. We dropped the single in 2019, shot the video in 2019 as well.
Emotional, featuring Torre?
Exactly.
All right.
And so that kind of brought me into I started to really understand the infrastructure that I needed and wanted. I actively started pursuing developing more relationships, stretching my belief around people and trusting people and allowing myself to go ahead and be okay to let people in, which is pretty challenging for your girl, but I'm happy to say that me taking the time to evolve in that way has benefited me in ways I could never have imagined. Like even my music is 1,000 times better because I evolved, And right. I think that's what it also took, that time from 2004 to 2010. I needed that time to kind of reevaluate what I wanted to do creatively and what my voice needed to say. You know what I mean? What are you really trying to say? you
right.
know? So,
at what point did the transition to Nashville, Tennessee come along?
That was in 2016. Yeah,
okay.
That was in 2016 in February, to be exact. Prana was still in high school at the time. And when she decided that she wanted to start doing this project, that's really why we came to Nashville. We were only supposed to be here a few months and we never went home. And I mean that literally. My husband pulled the divorce on me in that time. When I came here to work for a few months, he was like, yeah, by the way, I don't want to be married no more. Oh.
Wow.
I know, bogus. Thank God I can laugh about it, and it's genuine laughter instead of that sticky pain you get in your gut when a nigga kick you in the back of your head. Who does that?
Right.
But no, so but it's a beautiful thing because from that experience, we Prana and I nailed down, what we wanted to do with this project, the duo, and her and I together as the first Black country Americana duo, mother-daughter duo. It's never been done before. Because of that divorce, I was able to stretch myself and understand that I have value beyond what somebody else thinks about me, which I always knew from a young person. But then when you start assigning that value to other people, you might lose your mind a little bit, only so whatever that person thinks is what it actually is. Well, no, that's not actually true at all, And right. Because of that divorce, I was able to establish new business relationships, new creative relationships. It's crazy to say, but it's the best thing that could have happened, And I needed to step out of my own way, and not be so afraid to make this leap and to expose myself, to the world essentially, and to step out from behind the shadow of Wu-Tang Clan or from my role as a mother and Prana's mom. I'm Tekitha as well as Prana's mom. I'm not just Prana's mom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to get that identity back, or or my ex-husband's wife, no, nigga, I got a name. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me activate on that. So we, Prana and I ended up doing a tour called Love Jones the Musical. It was a 160 plus date tour, nationwide. Wow. North American tour. It was her first tour as a working artist because she had a speaking role. We were part of the ensemble cast of this play. It was a musical, and it was a spinoff from Love Jones. and super fun. And she was, again, still homeschooled at the time. So I got to really give her the opportunity of working while having to pursue her studies and graduating with high honors. Like she did this in her junior year of high school. So it's like a lot has changed. A lot of the world around me has changed, you know, in my internal, you know, my nuclear group has changed quite a bit. But it also has forced me to see myself in another way, which has now poured into the way that I create, and also the extensions and the tentacles that now come from me, that I'm able to support other people who are either new in their journey in music, or new in their journey in parenthood, or, you know what I mean? Like I have a wealth of wisdom now that I didn't have a decade ago, or my God, 20 years ago, blood. Like, oh, holy shit. Like, totally different playing field now, you know?
Right.
So I'm really appreciating, you know, Nashville, and for what Nashville has offered Prana and I, and the support that we have, you know, garnered here. I don't know where, I never had it before. I really haven't, you know, and all my new people who are not looking at me in terms of, oh yeah, Tekitha from Wu-Tang, got it. It's like, no, nigga, Tekitha. What's going on here? I have an actual name. So that's like dope too, you know, like it's forced me to grow in so many ways that I'm proud about. Because, you know, we are beings of growth, right? We should always be growing till the last breath is taken. So that's how I feel about that.
The latest single is called Guilty. Do you happen to have a snippet?
I do have a snippet. Hold on. The latest single is Guilty, and that will be from Prana and I. Together we are called One the Duo. Let me turn this turn the speaker back on. It died on me. It is the video premieres tomorrow on CMT, Country Music Television, blood. Is that not hilarious? It's so
That's what's
awesome.
up. That is.
Now, when the single dropped on the 1st of September, and it has about a little over 40,000 plays on Spotify, which wow. I mean, when we first saw it, it was like, oh, look, Prana, we have 2,000 plays on Spotify. We were so happy. But I'm saying, that's cool to me, you know? It's like,
yeah, absolutely.
I don't give a shit. Whoever's listening, like, that's love to me. So yeah, so we're on a steady little climb, and the video was cold. It is so great. So let's see if this will play out loud. What's happening? Can you hear it?
Yep.
Feels like only yesterday. Clouds were every shade of gray. I still feel the midnight chill. Before the dawn, the blood was still. He pushed too hard, not pushed fast. Got out of control way too fast. Smell the gun smoke, fill the air. Have to say that fight was fair. Guilty. I ain't guilty. Guilty. I ain't guilty. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's Guilty.
Awesome. Spreading your wings and pursuing different avenues. That's what this is all about. Not stagnating yourself and keeping yourself in a box.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. So it's beautiful. When can we expect the album?
The album, well, you can expect 3 more singles first. Okay. So you can expect another single before the end of the year, and then a single around Black History Month, and then another single around Mother's Day, because we have something very special happening around Mother's Day that I'll save to share as we get closer. But there'll be music associated with that special announcement as well, which, again, like everything I'm doing now is in accompaniment with the label it's really a media group that we have our partnership with. It's called Visionary Media Group. It's based here in Nashville. And then the parent company is Visionary Private Equity Group, that I was given a position as a senior advisor to that company back in June to basically advise the CEO and the board around an endowment that they're trying to spend in the Black and brown communities nationwide. And so although music is obviously my core, you know, it's what I have to do to live, like to breathe, you know what I'm saying? I'm moving into a space philanthropically where the music has to be connected to the effort that needs to happen outside of me. This is not just about releasing cool music. And although I love the project I'm doing with my daughter, that again is a marketing tool to spread the philosophy of what we believe about not just our work together, but as our connection as human people, and the support that we should be lending to one another in good and bad, you know, up and down, left and right, and to enlighten people and really penetrate people with love energy and what that actually means and how that looks, and then how we can spread that. You kick that and spin that over and over and over. Forget it. Like you doing the great work of healing people's hearts and their minds, and you know, giving people home and grounding when they need it, you know, especially because a lot of people do not have family, do not have support, do not have love, I mean, come on now. It's the most basic of things that we're able to do. So right. If through this company, Visionary Private Equity Group and Visionary Media Group, I'm able to facilitate some of those things to happen through practical resources or implementing programs or, you know, collaborating with other organizations nation and worldwide, then that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. And I get the joy of creating music with my daughter and creating music for myself as a solo artist, you know, because right. Those things will just, as long as I can speak, I'll create.
Right.
And even then, maybe not.
outside of music, any other avenues that Tekitha is pursuing?
Outside, yes. Art, but art in a way where, again, I guess music is kind of attached to that as well, but just support of artists and creatives overall. That has nothing to do with me hitting the stage or anything, just creating opportunity for people to build infrastructure around them that can support their goals and support their dreams and help them to make a living. You know, there should be no reason for a dedicated and committed and disciplined creative to not be able to earn a wage that can support their life. So that if there's anything I'm really after, is setting a stage for creatives to have agency over themselves, own their work, and partner with people who support that vision and who can create opportunity for them to do that, you know?
Right.
Because it does take money to make money. There's
right.
no getting around that. So if you don't have it, you better go find you some partners that can support you, and then you don't become a slave to them. No, you're in partnership because you have intellectual property, they have capital. You use those things together. You use those things to work in tandem with one another, and one respects the other as the other respects the other. Like, it should be equal respect.
Right. Well, Tekitha, I want to thank you this afternoon for this fabulous interview. Before we get out of here, can you shout out your social media and yes. everything that we can keep up with you as well as your daughter? Yes. Well, my daughter and I can be found at One the Duo on all platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, ONETHEDUO. I can be found at Tekitha on IG, Facebook. I think, matter of fact, Facebook, Tekitha Wisdom on Facebook, but Twitter and IG and yada yada, same thing, at Tekitha. And make sure you go and catch the the world premiere of Guilty by One the Duo tomorrow morning on CMT, which I'm very excited about. And and also check out a single I dropped last month called Roller Coaster. Gotta check that one out. That one I'll drop the video for that at the end of the month as well. So got some things in the pipeline. A little something. Very dope. Will we ever see the music from the 96, 97, 98 era
at some point?
You know, I'm working on reformatting, I guess you can say, or digitally remastering some stuff, if there's a possibility for me to locate a lot of that. Somebody randomly called me like a few years back and said that they had gotten a reel of mine at an auction and bought it, and they were trying to sell me the reel back instead of just giving me the reel back.
Extortion.
Extortion. I was like, you can't even play it. Like, no. So yes, the short answer is yes. And my brother's been like, dude, drop them shits on like some B-side type situation, almost where it's like the raw, uncut, unmastered vibes, you know. So we'll see. We'll see. I think there will be some value in it. I'm sure of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Any last words for your supporters who've been down with Tekitha since day one before we get out of here?
Thank you. Thank you is the short word. And I would like to express that the love and the care and the emails I get and the DMs I get, they do not go unnoticed. I create because I really have no choice to. I have no choice. Like I have to do it in order for me to sustain my own life. And the fact that you all stay consistently rocking with me, like you don't care that I don't release no albums or nothing. You'd be like, shit, whatever. Unsung hero, that's my girl. I'd be like, cool. And it makes for. It inspires me to keep going, and I hope that I will continue to make you guys proud and give you something that will nurture you and nurture your spirit and nurture your mind and your soul, because that's what I think I was put on the planet to do. So thank you. And thank you, Sin-seer, for having me and reaching out.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. We will be checking for that video first thing in the morning, as well as everything that you have in the pipeline. Yay! Thank you so much for the opportunity, and have a great rest of your Sunday. Thanks again. This has been episode 163. That is Tekitha. I'm the journalist Sin-seer, and we're out of here. Thank you, Tekitha.
Peace. Thank you.
Peace.